I've been called many things over the years. An absolute madwoman, a sadistic a dysfunctional burnt loaf of bread. One of my favourites was Megumin from Wish. What can I say? I like all-out attacks strong enough to one-shot enemies, even if they do leave you vulnerable. Actually, especially if they leave you vulnerable. And hey, Pokémon has a move called Explosion. So I had an idea to try winning 3 battles in a row, but I'm only allowed to deal damage using Explosion! So I made this extremely cursed team, chose the avatar with the biggest hat, and challenged my first random battle. Immediately, I run into an Ogerpon with Sturdy. I also find out this format makes you bring all 6 Pokémon, so I only have 5 total attacks. That's a problem, but I'll consider it a learning. My next fight has a stronger start, but Iron Hands takes a few explosions to beat. It's down to the last members of each team, but a single Protect thwarts my plan, though I already got mauled by a bear. My third opponent begins with 2 strong Pokémon who resist normal moves, and 1 is immune to electric. I can deal damage, of course, but just not enough. 3 losses in a row. I have a theory as to my primary hurdle. See, I suffer from a chronic condition known as skill issue. I'm not a competitive Pokémon player. Heck, I haven't even played the last 3 generations casually, so I need to think less and more. I come up with a new team, capable of 40% more. I queue in and... What the heck is happening? New battle. I can't set up, so I just start attacking. 1 Pokémon explodes, the other protects. I take down enemy after enemy, until finally I earn my first win, using only Explosion. I take a couple losses, then switch Baton Pass for Follow Me, and I'm immediately glad I did. Thanks to Drifblim's in prison, I can keep my opponent from protecting as I repeatedly explode on them. And then, once again, with Metagross and Rabsca, I lose? You know what? I took out all of their Pokémon, so I'll call that a win. Then I'm given a rematch against the first trainer I beat. It's hard to imagine anyone falling for the same trick twice, but I managed to set up this time, taking an early lead. Thanks to some well-timed protects, I completely shut down both their offense and defense. Then I almost throw, but I still pull together a draw. On the subject of rematches, I'm put against this bird again. I don't want it doing whatever this is, so I open with Explosion. Wait. Ugh. I give Rabsca some more supporting moves and try again. It takes a few attempts, but eventually I find 1 trainer who sees my team and immediately forfeits. My next opponent takes a couple quick explosions, but concedes soon after. As expected, once you get to show off the power of explosions, all other trainers tremble in fear. Now aiming for the win, these surprisingly bulky sweepers survive their first explosion, but can't handle a second. A Spiritomb comes out, normally the bane of normal-type attackers, but I juggle my Alolan Golem onto the field, and a galvanized explosion puts me in the lead. If Mousehold uses Copycat to... I should win. But I make a terrible play, and my own Drifblim outspeeds Mousehold. As I flounder in failure, I consider giving up. The shock surrender strategy is responsible for most of my victories, but I can't rely on weak-willed foes. This isn't a test of how weak my opponents are, but how strong I am. And I don't feel that I'm strong enough to complete this challenge. But then, the world champ's words echoed through my head.
After losing, it's really important to take some clean wins so you can start to rebuild your confidence.
I pick myself back up and start a new match. I predict a fire attack on Shiftry and Protect, setting up a free tailwind to boost my team's speed, and Shiftry's attack thanks to Windrider. 5-4. Metagross comes in and outspeeds with Explosion. 4-2. But whereas I've used 2 of my best attackers and Terrestrialization, they've saved the toughest for last. Iron Boulder resists normal explosions, and Flygon is immune to electric explosions. I need to be careful. Drifblim protects from an earthquake, and Rabska barely survives the fire punch to revive Metagross. I switch to Golem, predicting an attack on Drifblim. Golem manages to get off, and then Metagross comes in for the final. Finally, a proper victory. Now that I have some momentum, I just need 2 more. The next trainer is clearly a Trick Room team, but Drifblim outspeeds Weezing, so I set Tailwind and... Huh? Like I said, skill issue. Thanks for watching. I hope you managed to enjoy something here. Rate the video or comment the video if you want, but don't subscribe, and have a nice day. Well, that video was a right £1.5 a shot.